Well, hey guys, good morning. Brent Abel here, webtennis.com, and the January 2021 daily reboot. And hey, look, guys, thanks for all your great comments recently. And, really hope that you've decided to pick something, that one thing that we started with on January 1st that you want to eliminate for the next 31 days. My wife, mine, and I picked alcohol. So, yeah, we're doing a full dry January, and come February 1st, who knows? I don't know, man. We may go another month, we may not. But the point is that you got to pick something that you feel that this is not a lifelong decision, lifetime decision. This is just one thing for the next 31 days, month of January. And so, look, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again with you because today is day 5. And let me just kind of review real quick what we started with on January 1st, which was, pick this one area. And, it could be alcohol, could be sugar, could be meat, could be dairy, caffeine, processed foods, wheat, bread, second helpings. I don't know. You got to pick one. I've had some people pick more than one, and that's fine. My only caution with that is that if you pick more than one, it could be a real shock to the old system. And it's one thing to kind of white knuckle through dropping something out for, the first 10 days, couple of weeks in terms of cravings. That's fine. Eventually those do go away. And the whole goal here is that after 31 days, you might find that the one thing that you picked after 31 days, you go, you know what, I feel so much better than I did on January 1st that I'm going to go for another month. You might take the month of February and decide to do it again. Or you might pick something else from this list or add to this list, right? I mean, this is, what else is out there, right? And on day 1, I've already kind of recommended a couple books for you. Number 1 is the book titled Wheat Belly by Dr. William Davis. Ironically, his daughter, if you're into tennis, Lauren Davis, who is, one of the top WTA players. And it really is about the hybridization of the wheat over the last 75 years, 100 years from the agricultural companies and what it's done to the quality of it, how it basically spikes your insulin higher and faster than sugar. So, if you're concerned about inflammation, and I certainly am with all the tennis I play and all the working out I do, my number one thing is, what do I have to do on a daily basis to reduce inflammation? And I started, a few years ago on this. One of the first things we did is, well, where can we cut out wheat in our diet, right? And so I highly recommend that you pick up that book. On the second, we talked about your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits, right? So that just because, let's say, for example, you cut out dessert last night, that doesn't mean that all of a sudden today you're just in the greatest shape of all time, right? So it is going to take several days in a row, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks before you start to get an outcome. And that's a lagging measure of the habits that you create over that time, right? So the book I recommended was Atomic Habits by James Clear, and spectacular book. Another James Clear quote, you don't rise to the level of your goals. Instead, you fall to the level of your systems. You can have a great goal out there, right? You want to lose 15 pounds. Okay, what's the system you're going to deploy to be able to do that on a day-to-day basis? And really, systems are, what are the habits, that will actually take you there to be able to achieve that goal. So, and then yesterday we worked on, habits really become a part of your identity. So when Maya and I dropped, let's say, red meat from our diets back in February, March of 2018, for about a month, it was, I wouldn't say a full month, but for certainly a week, there was kind of the white knuckle effect in terms of the cravings, and the cravings went away, but it was still, my identity was still as someone who ate red meat, who ate chicken, who did this, who did that. But eventually it became an identity change, which was this is what I do. I don't eat red meat. I don't eat chicken. A little bit of fish now and then. All right. And again, I'm not preaching diet. You got to figure out what's right for you. But for us, it then became an identity change. And once the identity gets changed, the habits become a whole lot easier. So look, today, guys, what I want to ask you is, the greatest threat to our success and whatever we're trying to do this month is not failure, but it is boredom. And look, this is one of the things. Well, let me just go ahead and read the James Clear quote from the book Atomic Habits, which is the greatest threat to success is not failure, but boredom. We get bored with habits because they stop delighting us. The outcome becomes expected, and as our habits become ordinary, we start derailing our progress to seek novelty, right? And look, one of the things that Jeff Jacklich and I talk a lot about, and we did over at Gold Ball Hunting for that 1 year, 365 episodes, one a day, and one a day for a year. And one of the more common themes throughout that whole year was, if you really want to get good at something, you're going to have to get bored with it. And so, and for me, I know that too, because I'll go out there and I have to discipline myself. Like this morning when I go out with Owen, I've got one thing that I want to work on today. Well, look, after about 15 minutes, all of a sudden that second voice can kind of come in there and go, God, man, you're kind of bored with this stuff, right? Either because you're having so much success or because you're not having success with whatever that thing is that you're tinkering on, and you get bored with it and you decide to go with something else. And what I've discovered is that the success for me in terms of working on my tennis game is can I get bored with that thing I'm working on and continue to just work through it day after, I shouldn't say day after day, but in terms of this morning, make sure that I go through the whole hour and not want to go on to something else because I'm seeking novelty, right? So it's the same thing. And let me get us back here. It's the same thing with whatever we're trying to do with a physical reboot. You're going to get, and here's our boy Mike. Big win today on December 18th. Made a decision to lose weight as part of my journey to start training. I think is what Mike meant, for the senior circuit. Today I stepped in the scale and saw the 150s, which I haven't seen in 20 years. Thanks for encouraging me to start taking nutritional supplements and eating differently. 7 pounds down and counting. Hey, Mike, love it, man. And look, I'm sure that since you started on December 18th, and what has that been? 3 weeks? I'm sure that during those 3 weeks that there's been some times when you've gotten bored with what you're doing, even though you've got this great goal and you've already got some systems in place as how to reach that goal. There are going to be times, there are going to be days, maybe a couple of days in a row where you're just kind of bored with it. Maybe nothing's happening. In Mike's case, if you're trying to lose weight, and again, you might be trying to do something else, but if it's losing weight, the scale might not budge for a couple of days, right? And that kind of takes us back to that whole lagging measure of stop trying to measure your progress on a daily basis or on a morning basis. Well, how am I doing this afternoon? Just trust that your system that you've got in place is going to take you there, especially during those times when you get bored with it. And so, Mike, listen, man, congratulations. This is great news, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because Mike and I have had a couple of chats, and he's got a clear vision of the goal he wants to achieve, and he's got a clear vision on what the system is he's going to use on a day-to-day basis to get there. And no matter how much clarity you've got, there are going to be times, and I know that I will this morning, on a really short-term basis, I'm going to go out there with this one thought in mind of what I want to work on today with Owen from 9:30 to 10:30. And at some point, probably around 9:48, all of a sudden I'm going to be going, God dang it, I'm getting a little bored with this thing. No. Well, now I get to remember, and this is, some of this training that we're doing here, whether it's over at Web Tennis at 7 in the morning or here at the daily reboot at 7:30, is for me as well. I get a ton of just reinforcement. So it's good. Look, guys, I hope this has helped. And I just want to encourage you that if you get bored, those times you get bored, look, man, just reach out to me. And I'm more than happy to either be an accountability partner for you. I'm more than happy to give you some words of encouragement, whatever it is. Maybe we can dig into your goal and dig into your systems to achieve that goal, whatever they are. And so, look, you can either do it through a direct message, Facebook, or you can shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. And man, I'm here to serve. I'm here to help. So with that said, guys, as always, you got to get out there today, wherever out there today is, help someone else have a spectacular day. And guys, we will do day 6 tomorrow. I will see you then.